foes and weed smoke. Butterfly doors, mink coats, and clean clothes. Shit, that's all a nigga knows. Sliding, dipping on 84s, wrapped in bows. Cold, I'm too froze, so part in my rose gold. Bank rolls and city lights, living that life, so we going hard like every night. That's every night. Stuntin', flexing, I'm on, nigga. Green gang supreme, don't get it wrong, nigga. Hold on, nigga.
What's up, amazing fam? It's your boy Boss. I want to welcome you to another episode of the It's So Amazing podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, you can catch us every week on your favorite podcasting app. And if you want to catch the video version, you can catch that on my YouTube channel. Search Amazing Films, the same way it's spelled in the podcast, AMAYESN Films. And you can catch the video version of the podcast there. So without further ado, let's get into the first topic of the day. Monique and Netflix. So, if you guys don't know, I want to say about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, Monique sued Netflix because she felt like she was being discriminated against. And when I look at this whole situation and this whole totality, I think this was really a case of extreme pocket watching. So, why did Monique sue Netflix? So, Netflix offered Monique a comedy special deal, and the reported numbers that we got was they kind of offered her $500,000. Now, to us general public, we like, oh, that's some good money for Monique. But to her, she felt like that was a lowball offer. And the reason she felt like that was a lowball offer is because she was looking at the likes of other comedians and what they was getting for their specials. And those such comedians are Dave Chappelle. I think Dave Chappelle got $40 million for 2 specials, and then he doubled back and got another 20 for another special. Kevin Hart, I think he got $30 million for a special. Amy Schumer got $20 million for a special. So on and so on. You get the gist of what's going on over at Netflix. Netflix paid all those comedians in that 20 to 40 plus range when it comes to comedy specials. So when she was looking around at the landscape and thinking, oh, I'm finna get a payday, or this is what Netflix is paying, and she got that $500,000 offer for her comedy special, she felt like that was a lowball offer. Now, if we gonna look at this objectively, which that's what we're gonna do because I am an objective person and I can take my bias out of things, was that a lowball offer? Yes and no. Yes, it's a lowball offer when you put it in the grand scheme of what they putting out to these other comedians. But I say no, it wasn't a lowball offer because all these comedians that got those big paydays, they got them for a reason. They got them because they was out there on the road selling out tickets, selling out stadiums and doing shit like that. They have the data and statistics to back up why they deserve a big $20 million or $40 million payday in Dave Chappelle's instance. So did Monique deserve a $20 million, $30 million payday? No. I want y'all to honestly tell me, when is the last time y'all heard or seen Monique do any kind of comedy, period? Whether that's in comedy shops, comedy what's the word I'm trying to look for? Just on the road doing comedy shows. When the last time y'all known Monique to do that? I know she's doing it now, but I'm talking about 2 years ago when this lawsuit was filed. Monique was cold as ice. Monique hasn't done anything that's warrant a $20 million or a $10 million payday when it comes to a comedy special. Now, is Monique a comedy legend when it comes to this comedy thing? Yes. And I do want to uplift Monique. Monique done did a lot. She's an Academy Award winner, but that is for acting. She's done did a lot of things in the comedy world, knocked down a lot of doors, and made people understand that females can be funny when it comes to this comedian shit too. So I will give her props right there. But at the same time, I feel like this is a bad case of pocket watching, and this is when pocket watching goes wrong. Now, was she right or was she wrong with this whole suing Netflix? They did just come out, and I did a video on the YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Her and Netflix have come together to be amicable and settle this whole lawsuit. There's no talks or numbers being thrown around on what actually happened. We don't know if Netflix was in the wrong and they paid her, or if she was in the wrong and they just agreed to disagree. We don't know. And that's the kind of the fucked up situation when you think about this, because I kind of wish that we did know the actual behind the scenes measures that was going on so we can know who was in the right and who was in the wrong. Now, does Netflix have the right to do what they want? And when I say does Netflix have the right to do what they want, I'm basically saying, does Netflix have the right to pay whatever and whoever what they want to be on their platform? Me personally, I feel like they do. I know a lot of people like to say, well, Monique is a legend. She deserves that type of money that Dave Chappelle and some else get. No, she doesn't. If she put in the work, now, like I said before, she did put in that work back then when I was younger, when I was a teenager, when I was growing up. She put in that work back then. As of late, we ain't seen Monique put in no comedian type work like that to deserve no big ass payday like that. And that's what I hate, when people can't look at things objectively, because a lot of people think and go off with their emotions. They go off what they feel somebody deserve instead of what people think they deserve, what they actually earn. Monique ain't earned no big payday like that. Now, if Monique was smart, she would have took that $500,000 offer, came out with a great comedy special, killed it, everybody's raving and hooting and hollering about it, and then knocked Netflix over the head on the second come up. You know what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle done did like 3 or 4 specials with Netflix. You know they done gave him a bag every time. So all you gotta do is prove yourself. But then you have the people that say, why she gotta prove herself? She should be already proven. I get it, guys. I get it. But at the same time, it's not what have you done, it's what have you done for me lately. Just think about it in this aspect. Let's say Dave Chappelle did the Dave Chappelle show. Everybody loved Dave Chappelle then, and he never did anything else in his life. He never put out any more specials, any movies, any nothing. He just still running off that same shit that he did when he did the Dave Chappelle show. Do you honestly think motherfuckers, one, would still care about Dave Chappelle, and two, would Netflix pay Dave Chappelle these $20 and $40 million paydays that they just paid him? No, they wouldn't do that. You can't live off name alone. You can't do that. You have to keep consistently putting out quality work in today's age. You can't live off your old work. It doesn't work like that. A lot of people used to do that back in the day, but in 2022 and going forward, you cannot move off what you used to do or what you did back then. It's what you did for me lately. When's the last time you made me laugh hysterically? And if it ain't been no recent time, people not going to really check for you like that. And you're not going to get a big payday. But I really think this was a bad case of pocket watching. I wish a lot of people would stop pocket watching. What's for you is for you, and what's for somebody else is for somebody else, bro. Like, you just got to have that mindset. And I just feel like a lot of people in this day and age, when it comes to social media, we always looking out at the corner of our eyes, looking at what everybody else is doing, what they got going on, and that's making us feel depressed or feeling like, damn, why they up like that? Why I'm still in my shitty situation? You can't look at it like that. You should just be appreciative of what you got and be blessed and be thankful and let God give you what you deserve and stop covering whatever somebody else got. It just don't work like that. But let's move on to the next topic. Queen B, Beyonce. She is back. She is back. She is back. So Beyonce has announced that she's putting out a new album. Excuse me. It's called Act 1 Renaissance. So already I feel like with this even just being called Act 1 Renaissance, she probably gonna have another one or a follow-up to this. So the first one is called Act 1 Renaissance. It will be released on July 29th. She's already selling pre-orders. She already dropped the first single, written by The Dream, one of the greatest. And it is called Break My Soul. I like the record. It's kind of a dance record. And to my dismay, bro, I didn't even know that, this might sound stupid, but I didn't know all of Beyonce's albums was categorized in the pop category. Like, I just found this out last night when I was just looking through her her catalog, and I was like, damn, everyone say pop, 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 pop. I always looked at Beyonce as an R&B singer. I don't know if that has any effect, or because she's black and she sing black music that I just automatically lumped her into R&B category, but I always felt like she was an R&B artist, and at some point in time she does pop music here and there, but every one of her albums has been in a pop category, and that was just like mind-blowing to me. I didn't know that. So the question I want to pose is, do you think people still care about Beyonce? And the reason I bring this up is because if you haven't been paying attention to the last Beyonce releases, I feel like with every release that she come out with, I feel like it's more lesser and lesser impact. And when I'm saying lesser and lesser impact, I'm basically talking about album sales. Now, I know a lot of people say album sales don't really matter, but album sales does matter to a certain extent, especially when you're talking about a legend and a GOAT like Beyonce. When you have that high standard and you give all the praise to these certain artists like a Beyonce, a Jay-Z, a Drake, a Kendrick, album sales does matter. But at the same time, with those same said artists that I named, the quality of the project matters more. I will give y'all that. But when you look at album sales kind of tell a story of, is she still relevant, or is this person still relevant? Is people still checking for this person? That's how I get. Take Post Malone that just dropped his latest album, 12 Karat Toothache. Before he dropped this album, you would think Post Malone was out of here. He's the biggest artist, one of the biggest artists in the world. That album didn't sell that good. That album did like 100-some thousand, if I'm not mistaken. That's low ball numbers for Post Malone. But at the same time, what I think that is attributed to is Billboard is kind of getting hip to all the shit that a lot of artists was using to their advantage and cooking these numbers up and getting these artists with these big first week numbers. They been eliminating all the trickery that a lot of these artists been doing, and now we seeing the pure raw numbers, and I think that's what we getting as of late. But to get back to Beyonce, I want to just go over some of the numbers for her last discography. So we got that is not the last one. It say Lemonade is the last one, but it's not. So let's see if I can get the sales for y'all real quick. Reception. Damn, guys. I'm sorry, y'all. Here we go. Certification and sales. So Lemonade in totality worldwide sold 2.5 million. That's cool, but I feel like that's low for Beyonce. In the United States alone, she did 1.5. So that's cool numbers, but I feel like Beyonce, with the status that Beyonce has, she should have bigger numbers. Now, I can't really find the first week numbers, but I do remember when these latest albums were coming out, she was doing 200,000, 180, 150. Those are not big numbers for Beyonce. And when this album dropped, we gonna revisit this on another pod, or if I do another video. This is gonna let me know or put the nail in the coffin of if it's over for Beyonce, because I've been feeling like for the last few years that a lot of people don't really care for Beyonce. And I won't say it's just Beyonce that they don't care about. I feel like in the whole totality of the music game as a whole, a lot of people don't fuck with the music. It's a lot of people putting out albums, and I feel like we have really been ushered into a microwave era where people is listening to the album the first day it dropped. They might listen a couple more days after that, and then they on to the next one. People are not sticking and staying with these albums as of late. That's just my personal thinking of what's going on in today's game. Now, y'all can let me know how y'all feel about it. Do y'all still really listening to albums months and months after they've been released? Me personally, the only way I'm doing that is if it's just an album that I really fuck with, or it's just an artist that I just want to listen to all the time. Like, it's just gonna happen that way. But the last album that I just been jamming like that I just jammed over and over and over, I can't even call it, because I can honestly say when I'm jamming these albums, the max I'll probably do is probably 2 or 3. I'll say a month and a half, 2 months consistently listening to it. But over a stretch of a year, I'm checking out these albums sparse here and there. Oh, I'm gonna listen to this album today. Oh, I'm gonna listen to this album today. I'm not just continuously listening to these projects like I used to when there was more of a scarcity.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Shut
Sorry,
up.
I couldn't hear what you said.
Y'all heard Siri. I'm sorry for that, but I'm just not listening to these albums at the scarcity that I used to. And I think a lot of that has to play into that is the streaming era, because just think about Netflix. Everybody can agree and just go with this narrative or Netflix. You can't tell me that you been at the house one day with your girl or with your man and y'all turn on Netflix. And then y'all just flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. And y'all can't decide what y'all want to watch. And it's because it's such a mass variety of movies to watch. You can't just narrow in and zero in on and pick something. And my wife is notorious for that. I'll be like, come on, baby. Like, just pick something. Like, you just be going and going and going and going. And I'm even like a victim of that, because like me personally, when I eat dinner, I have to have something to watch. I cannot eat my dinner until I find something to watch. And I have my iPad in front of my fucking plate, and I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Food getting cold, but I don't give a fuck. I can't eat my food without having something to watch. I know a lot of the weed smokers say they can't eat until they smoke before they eat. So that's how it is with me when it comes to eating. I gotta be able to watch something while I'm eating. It's just how it is. So I feel like that's the same thing that people is going through when it comes to this music and streaming. It's just a vast majority of music to pick from that people is not sticking with the shit that, like, back in the day, in my day, a lot of y'all might be young, so back in my day, we had to pick who album we wanted to buy. We couldn't just listen to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that came out. It wasn't like that. But with today's setup, you had a pick of the litter. And I think that's what's really hurting a lot of artists. And I think in the grand scheme of things, I feel like that's gonna, I ain't gonna say necessarily hurt the music business, because the music business is booming because of streaming. Like, these companies and record labels are making billions of dollars off this music because of streaming. Like, it was kind of scary at one point in time when I was growing up, when you had Napster and everybody was illegally downloading shit, and they was trying to figure out, oh my God, what are we gonna do? We losing millions of dollars because people not coming out here and actually buying these albums. But when you say, man, just pay $10 a month and you can have all these albums, it's just kind of a no-brainer. And like, ever since I started streaming albums, I can never see myself going back to searching to try to download an album. I'm not doing that shit, bro. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, it's not. The last time I did do that was I want to say probably a Jay-Z album, and this is when he had first had Tidal out. And you know how that shit was only exclusive to Tidal, and I ain't got Tidal, and I'm not finna pay for it. So you had to fucking get your Google on to get that download. That's the last time I actually did that shit. But as of late, bro, right now I'm subscribed to Apple Music. I also pay for YouTube Music. I use both, either or. I got Google Homes and Home Pods in my fucking whole house. So whatever floats your boat, that's what it is. But me personally, I kind of feel like it's over for Beyonce. And when this album come out and those numbers come back, that's really going to give me the confirmation that I need to come out and actually say, okay, it's over for Beyonce. People have moved on. Now, before we get off this topic, do you feel like one of the main things and the only reason that Beyonce is still relevant and looked at as like this holy grail, oh my God, it's Beyonce artist, is because of the mystique that she still carry? And when I say mystique, I mean she's not out and about like that. She has social media like an Instagram, but she's not on there every day. She's posting when she want to post. When she wants y'all to pay attention, that's when she posting. She not posting every day. She not living her life through social media. And I think it's a smart thing for Beyonce and an artist like Jay-Z to stay away. I feel like that's kind of been helpful to their careers, because when you look at a lot of artists that's big like them, that's on that level, that do live through social media, that do post a lot of stuff, it kind of took the veil over a lot of people, took the veil off a lot of people's eyes, and it made people actually look at these artists, and some of the artists that you thought was cool, or you thought, oh, that's a real nigga, or I fuck with that person. As time progressed and time went on, you started to see point after point that, these niggas, that's a fuck nigga. He ain't who I thought he was, because a lot of stuff started to come out, a lot of personalities start to come out that you wouldn't necessarily would have known if they kept their mystique and wasn't giving their life and performing in front of people on social media like a lot of people do. I honestly feel like social media kind of hurt my favorite artist, which is 50 Cent. I feel like social media's kind of hurt another one of my goats that I got on my wall, Kanye West, with a lot of the rants that he's been going on with the whole Kim and P. Davidson shit. Like, I do agree with a lot of shit he be talking about, but at the same time, I can also see and not be biased and see that a lot of people is kind of turned off and is not fucking with Ye because he's going on these Twitter rants and these Instagram rants. So I feel like a lot of our greats like a Kanye, Jay, Kendrick, Drake, I feel like they would benefit more if they didn't post like that. But I think with the invention of social media, it kind of killed the whole superstar. And that's why I feel like in today's age, there will never ever be another superstar. I think Drake was the last rap superstar. We'll never have another superstar like that on that type of level, because social media wouldn't allow that. Now, speaking of not allowing people to be great, let's talk about that boy Chris Brown. Chris Breezy. Breezy is about to put out his new album, but the first topic I want to talk about when it comes to Chris Brown, an ex-football player, what is his name? I'm looking dead at his face and I can't even think of it. Ryan Clark, that used to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He said that Chris Brown, I think it's Ryan Clark. I hope I got the name right, y'all. If it's not, I'm sorry. But I think it's Ryan Clark. He said that Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson. Now, you know, when anybody is compared to Michael Jackson, motherfuckers gonna bring the pitchforks out and they gonna fight for who they believe in. The same way that motherfuckers, when people try to compare Jordan and LeBron, or Jordan and Kobe and LeBron, all that shit, motherfuckers root for who they root for, and they'll die on that hill of who they want to back and shit like that. So when he said that, a lot of people will disagree with what he said, but me being objective, like I want to be objective. I want y'all to know me for being objective, even though if I got biases, I can't be objective. I do believe that Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson. Now, let me give you the reasons why I feel like that. He didn't say Chris Brown made better music than Michael Jackson. He didn't say Chris Brown danced better than Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say Chris Brown can sing better than Michael Jackson. He said Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson. And when you think about what that encompasses in the whole totality, Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson. Chris Brown can sing. He can dance. He can produce. He's a fucking artist, a graffiti artist. The list goes on and on. Designers. He can fucking play basketball. It ain't nothing Chris Brown that he really can't do. Now, Michael Jackson is the GOAT of all GOATs. He was my first artist that I fell in love with, like, period, in any genre. Michael Jackson is the GOAT. He will forever be the GOAT. But when it comes to being more talented, Chris Brown is more talented when it comes to Michael Jackson. All we know Michael Jackson for is having hit after hit and the fucking undeniable moonwalk. You know what I'm saying? Making people faint in the crowds. But Chris Brown also has that. Motherfuckers done fainted because of Chris Brown at his concerts. It's not a one-to-one, but when you think about it overall, when it's overarching, Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson, to me, in my eyes. Now, you can disagree, and that's okay for us to disagree, but to me, Chris Brown is more talented to Michael Jackson. I won't say he's a better singer than Michael Jackson. And I think when people discuss these kind of topics and issues, I feel like a lot of people only look at the surface level stuff. They don't get real minute and detailed and get down to the nitty gritty of what actually is going on. I feel like people look at the surface level and they look at Chris Brown and Michael Jackson and they be like, he doesn't add up to Michael Jackson. And I can see people's thinking when it comes to that, but when you actually look at that and take your biases away, I know a lot of people feel like it's blasphemy to say somebody is better than Michael Jackson. I know people think it's blasphemy to say somebody is better than Michael Jordan, but they're never going to be the end all be all, the greatest of all time. That's never going to happen because it's always going to be this thing called evolution. When it comes to basketball, sports, football, you're going to always have people that was great, and you're going to have people that was greater after them. You're going to have the people that's greater after them. It's called evolution. It's always going to keep going. It's not going to plateau. It's not just going to be Michael Jordan and nobody ever can ever be better than Michael Jordan. It's never going to be like that. It's just not, bro. When you actually look at what it really is, bro, people are always going to be better because, one, they have the advantage of seeing who came before them and taking little bits and pieces of their greatness, adding that to their repertoire and putting their own little twist on that and moving the culture forward. That's the same way when you talking about Michael Jordan, he got to see Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and all these other people that was before him where they actually played in his era. But, you know, like the Iceman, George Gervins and shit like that, Wilt Chamberlain and stuff, he got to see all those people that came before him take the bits and pieces that he want, add it to his game, and now you have your Ernest, MJ. You know what I'm saying? Then the person that came after MJ was Kobe. People say Kobe was a carbon copy of MJ. I won't say that to an extent like that because Kobe is Kobe, but you can see some of the similarities of the stuff that he did emulate of Michael Jordan, and that's okay because greats imitate greats. It's the quote, and I ain't gonna be able to quote it perfectly, but I think Steve Jobs said that great artists steal. I can't remember how it really go, but yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head, and if I find it, I'll try to put it in. But he's saying great artists steal from other great artists, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. You take the little bits and pieces of the people that you see, and you integrate that shit into your stuff, and that's how you become a great and be looked at on the same level. Now, if you want to look at it unbiased and keep it 1,000, the only thing that really fucked up Chris Brown's trajectory, we all know, was the Rihanna incident. If it wasn't for Rihanna and that incident, Chris Brown might be the biggest artist of our generation. But because that shit happened, Drake ended up being the biggest artist in our generation. So I feel like Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson, and you can disagree with how I feel. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, to speak on his new album that's coming out, like I said, it's called Breezy. And I seen the track list last night, and I was disappointed. And the reason I was disappointed was I'm not so disappointed at the songs that he done put out so far, because the songs he done put out so far, I fuck with it. But he has, I think it was like 18 songs, might be more than that. But on 12 of them, it's nothing but features. Like feature. I don't like when we have such legendary artists like a Chris Brown. You don't need that help. Now, I understand when you are a big artist like Chris Brown, you want to work with the people that you want to work with, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those people want to work with you. So I can see it both ways, that you trying to collaborate and bring those fans, some of their fans, in to your people, which I don't think that really matters when it comes to Chris Brown, because any of the people that you featuring on your project, 9 times out of 10, they was a fan of you before they was actually a fan of the people that you bringing on. So he has Ella May on there. I think I seen Fabio Foreign. Her is on there. Tory Lanez is on there. It's just a lot of people, man. I'm telling you, it's like 12 fucking features on this project. That's too many features for a GOAT like Chris Brown. I don't like that, but I'm still going to keep an open mind when it comes to listening to the album when it comes out. Hopefully he doesn't disappoint. And I'm real picky and peculiar when it comes to artists. When I listen to artists, I feel like they should be in a certain pocket and they should make a certain type of music. Like, I don't want to hear Chris rapping, doing a lot of rappy 808 type songs. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear some shit that I can lay some pipe to, even though I don't fuck the songs. I feel like people that still have sex to music, I feel like that is so, I don't know, early 90s, mid 2000s when I was a teenager type shit. If you're still doing that shit, bro, man, power to y'all, but no. I'm not gonna be doing that shit, but I want that type of music. I want to hear you make that type of music that somebody can do those type of things if they want to. You know what I'm saying? Now, before we get out of here, I want to ask y'all the question of the week. And the question of the week is, if Academics distance himself from Tekashi 6ix9ine, would it be the end of Tekashi 6ix9ine? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is because, this week, Lil TJ, news broke that he was shot at and rushed to the hospital and was in emergency surgery. And as of today, he's doing okay. He didn't die. When I seen the news first break of him being shot, I was like, oh my God, not again, bro. Like, we've been losing a lot of people in the rap game, in the hip hop game as a whole. I feel like hip hop is more dangerous than it's ever been. I know a lot of people might say the 90s and early 2000s. They don't compare to what's going on right now. Too many motherfuckers is dying, bro. It is what it is. But to get back to the question that I posed, if Act distances himself from 6ix9ine, would it be over? The reason I want to know this question is because I've kind of come to the point of I'm sick of 6ix9ine. Now, the reason I'm sick of 6ix9ine, the news broke about Lil TJ. 6ix9ine is in the comments laughing like this is such a laughing matter to be laughing at. And I kind of want Act to kind of make a stance and be like, bro, this shit, I don't fuck with this shit. I don't fuck when you make fun of people in they death. He made fun of Nipsey Hussle. He went and showed up to Nipsey's mural taking pictures and shit like that. He put a hit out on Chief Keef and shit like that. Like, bro, like, I don't fuck with that, bro. I don't fuck with that at all. And I know Act don't fuck with that. And I know he done said behind scenes, because he done said it time and time again. He done told 6ix9ine that he don't fuck with him when he do that shit. But I kind of want him to put his feet down and be like, okay, I don't fuck with you no more. You're not my friend. I'm not promoting you. Because I honestly believe that if Act does that, 6ix9ine would disappear. Academics is really the only last person that's standing that's still giving 6ix9ine any kind of visibility and credibility to begin with. And I think that's what the problem with a lot of people that they have with Academics. Even before this whole snitching thing, a lot of people hated Academics because he hitched his platform to 6ix9ine. Academics and 6ix9ine are synonymous with each other. You can't talk about one without talking about the other. Now, at the same time, Academics did build his platform up to be what it is today before 6ix9ine was even known or anybody was even thought about who a fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine was. But at the same time, it did grow bigger when 6ix9ine came out and 6ix9ine was ravaging New York, and he was going around telling niggas to suck his dick, and he was on that blood shit, what it is, blood, Treyway this, Treyway that, and that shit did go up from there. So, do y'all think if Academics disses himself from 6ix9ine, would it be over for 6ix9ine? Let me know in the comments below. If you listen on Spotify, you can answer the question on there. And if you listen on any other podcasting app, shit, leave a comment in the comments and let me know. If you watch the video version of this on my YouTube, leave a comment below that. And I just want to say, I want to thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for checking out another episode of the It's So Amazing podcast. Like I said at the beginning, if this is your first time tuning in, you can catch us every week on your favorite podcasting app, whether that's Apple Music, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, any of the favorite podcasting apps, it should be there. And if it's not, send your boy a message and I'll make sure I can get it up and running for you. Thank y'all, man. I'll catch y'all next week for some more fuckery. I'll holler at your boy. I can't talk. I haven't been able to talk all week. If y'all could see the bloopers that I did when I'm doing these news stories for the YouTube channel, y'all will be laughing. But thank y'all, man. I'll check y'all next week. Peace out.